Hello everyone, welcome to Bayern Now, the ultimate Bayern München fan channel. Munich. I'm sorry to all you Germans. I don't care. It's Munich, okay? It's Munich. On the map it says Munich. It's Bayern Munich. Alright, so today we're talking about the Bayern transfers. Even though we're not even playing matches, we still can transfer players, which is weird because how can you generate revenue if you're not playing football games? How can sponsors give you money if you're not playing? So, quite frankly, they should just bin the season and our Champions League favorite hopes should go away. I don't care. So, Bayern are apparently willing to offer Alaba to Manchester City to get Leroy Sane. Now, this would probably be a transfer where I think maybe we offer Alaba in like 20 million. But I think probably Alaba is at a level where, you know, he's like worth 100 million or 80 million, somewhere around that range. So if you gave him to him, it'd probably be just a swap, right? So Alaba to Man City, Leroy Sane to Bayern. And City do need defenders. They need a left back who can stay fit and also is world class, Alaba. And they also need a center back who's not Laporte, who can also stay fit. So they would need Alaba. They would want Alaba, that's the important thing. But does Alaba want City? So apparently the news is that David Alaba does not want to go to Manchester City. I wonder why. Is it because they don't play in front of 73,000 fans every weekend? I'm not sure. I don't know. Is it because their stadium 20,000 seats every weekend? I couldn't tell you. But apparently that's the news right there. That Bayern were trying to find, because we have to find solutions ultimately. I think this would be a great deal. Alaba to Manchester City and Leroy Sane to us. We get a great winger who we're looking for, and City get a center back and a left back who they desperately need for their title hopes next year. And it's also a decent move for Alaba because he'll be playing and making twice the money, you know, and he'll have a free ticket to the Middle East every year to go meet his owners, and he'll have he will never need electricity because there's a giant oil plantation where the city owners have their income in and own. So Alaba would never lack, gasoline and fuel. He would never lack these things. He would never lack electricity. He gets a lifetime supply of electricity. That's what City can offer him, and we have to understand that those are very attractive propositions. Going to City for that would be great, incredible for Alaba. I'm not muted, right? So if you're watching, please tell me if I'm actually muted. Anyone watching the stream, tell me if I'm muted, because I feel like I am. But this is a great deal for Alaba. It's a fantastic deal for him because he'll be in a great club. A club with prestigious history, making lots of money and also playing with incredible players that were totally not bought for money. And yeah, you would swap Lewandowski for a 5'2" Argentine man that's crap and can't dribble, can't do anything else but score, Aguero. And he's gonna swap Gnabry for a duck, Raheem Sterling the duck. He runs like a duck, like a little T-Rex with the stupid little arms. I hate it. And he'll trade Gnabry for a duck, and we'll get a Ferrari in return for Alaba. That's like giving up your nice little luxurious your Range Rover that's nice, or the Bentley. Yeah, it's like giving up your Bentley for Ferrari or Lamborghini for that matter. I like Lamborghinis better. But this Lamborghini is the best Lamborghini. And this is a prestigious Bentley that's been with you. Rolls Royce, right? A Rolls Royce, that's what I meant. A Rolls Royce. Alaba is the Rolls Royce. That prestigious car, that luxury. He's a luxury that you can't afford to just keep having, and someone will want him at some point. But that sexy $2 million Lambo, come on. Nobody can go wrong with that, and that's who we get in return, Leroy Sane. Now, that Lambo he's faster definitely, right? But is he prestigious? Is he as wealthy as someone who owns a Rolls Royce? No, because typically Lambo owners make a couple $100,000 a year and then they buy a Lamborghini. But that Rolls Royce, oh man, it's gonna never drop down in value because it's such a luxury vehicle. So that's the whole difference here. And is this a great deal for Bayern? Absolutely. It is, because we have so many center backs, right? We're not in desperate need of money. Let's be honest here. Bayern's transfer budget is supposed to be 300 million, and those are for 4 players. And we would get them for 300 million. We would get 4 players in. I could literally find 6 great players you could get into that squad for less than 300 million. Thomas Partey, his release clause is like, I think, 45 million. You don't need a CDM anymore. Right back, Hakimi, he'll probably go for 50 million, right? And then you go ahead, get a winger like Milot Rashica, instead of Leroy Sane. He'll go for about 40 million. There's so many good options out there. And who do you want? You want a central attacking midfielder? Well, Odegaard from Real Madrid, who's loaned at Real Sociedad, he'll go for about 40 million or 50 million or even 60 million. But he's proven in La Liga, isn't he? So he'll come to the Bundesliga and just, get used to it and fit in eventually. He'll cost you very little. And he's left-footed, just like Kai Havertz. And he's the same age, I think, 22 or 20. I don't know. I think he's 22. But those are 4 players I just named right there that you'd get for already less than 200 million. And then you could go find a big player or 2 decent players, right? We could have bought Bruno Fernandes instead of Kai Havertz. Right, there's so many different players out there. So yeah, it's incredible just what football and the market can do these days. But Alaba for Leroy Sane is not a terrible idea at all, because these are 2 players that are fantastic. We want one, but the other we can't really afford to have right now. The thing with Alaba is probably that he wants to go play with Zidane or with Barcelona in sunny Spain and make, playing around Madrid. People don't understand this. It's such a good option, or Barcelona for that matter. You just go to sunny Spain, right? You have your nice beach luxury home, your open windows, the sun's always up all the time, right? It rarely snows. I don't even think it snows, to be honest, but it's always hot and warm, right? Then playing in cold Munich, it snows a lot in the winters, and it's different, right? And then the thing is, you get to compete for the best trophies, the best awards for players, best UEFA best player, UEFA best defender, all these awards, right? And you're at the best clubs in the world with millions of followers more on your Instagram. It's so crazy how easy it is to play in Spain. On top of that, literally, the league is a lot easier because it's so much slower. It's just more tactical, let's be honest. The slowest league, in my opinion, is the Serie A. I think the Serie A is dreadfully slow. Whereas, you're just chilling in Spain. All you have to do is know how to pass the ball quickly. Possession football. And that's it. Like, as a left back as well. If you're playing for Barcelona, whenever Messi gets the ball, just make a run in behind. It's so easy to play in Spain as a left back. Or Barcelona in particular. It is so easy. I would give up everything to go play in Spain. I would. If I was a player at Bayern Munich, right, I've won all this stuff. Of course, I would love Bayern, but Barcelona comes in, or Real Madrid comes in, and they'll pay you more money too. This is just perfect. Whoever decided, hey, Real Madrid and Barcelona should be the most popular clubs in the world. I don't know, man. But La Liga know what they're doing. They have made Real Madrid so, and Barcelona just dominant. And then on top of that, you have Atletico Madrid. You have decent competition. That's crazy. And you always have great players around you. Real Madrid have Hazard. They have Benzema. They have Vinicius Jr., Rodrigo. They have Toni Kroos, who they took from Bayern. And Kroos probably had the same thoughts as Alaba. They had all these great players, and they're even trying to buy more. And every 10 years, right, you get to just leave. They won't try to keep you. They'll just kick you out, right, and get 10 new players for $1 billion. That's what I'll do. You know what? I respect it. I actually do. I think it's smart. What's the point of keeping these? Cristiano Ronaldo, he would have been declining at Real Madrid. People think he should have retired there. Well, he spent 8 years there, and Real were like, nah, we're done with you, and kicked him off. I'm not against that. I'm really not. As much as it's a scumbag thing to do. Cristiano Ronaldo was already in his decline, so I would have kicked him off too. But at Barcelona as well, you get to play alongside Lionel Messi, who, if you're a defender like Alaba will be, you can just sit back, relax, commentate at the back, because Messi's just going to do the business for you. And then they're thinking of bringing in Neymar. That just makes your job easier if you're going to play left back, because you don't even have to overlap Neymar. He'll overlap himself. he'll pass the ball inside, run after it, and then go do a freaking flick over, and he'll just do everything. He'll do all the attacking. You can just sit back, relax, commentate, talk about how nice your kids are walking and how powerful they already are. That's how it will be. That's the most important thing. It's crazy. I would totally do it if I was Alaba. I would be so into this. I would be the first one recommending this idea. I would be there going, yeah, I want to move to Spain. Yes, sir. I really want to move to Spain. I'm telling you, as much as I love Bayern and I love that we're a family club, we live in Munich, okay? We are from Munich. First of all, is Munich the greatest city? No, I mean, Munich is a great city, but, you know, I wouldn't live in Munich. Like, I wouldn't live in Munich. I'm more of a modern city type of person. You know, I like modern houses. Like, I cannot stand things that are different. I like the just plain white, crystal clear stuff. I like, you know, white counters. I love all that. I like my open kitchen. Our kitchen is open. I really wanted this house. I mean, when we were buying it, I was like, yeah, I want it because we have a nice open kitchen. The kitchen, living room is downstairs, but then there's a sitting area right outside. It's just so open, right? And then there's a sunroom on the back. But guess what? It has a giant window you open, and you can see through everything. I like that open feeling. And I think that Munich is just not that great of a city, especially for a footballer. You want your son, you know? And the thing is, I think it's statistical or something, but in warmer weather, you're less likely to get injuries, which is true. Why do you think Cristiano Ronaldo, Lionel Messi, they always never get injuries? So many players from La Liga, except Ousmane Dembele, he did come from Germany, ironically, they get so many injuries, whereas in Munich, where it's cold, your muscles can freeze up and things like that. I don't know if that's how scientific or how doctorate degree that is, but it's true. You can get injuries, a lot of injuries, just by living out more in the cold weather and things like that. So that's the most important thing, is that Alaba will go and he'll just have fun, right? And well, if he goes to Spain, but to Man City, as much as yes, I'd be like, wow, no. But Man City is a decent club. They will be competing for the Premier League. They'll be competing for the FA Cup. They'll be competing for every trophy in England that you can get. They'll be competing for everything in City. So that's my logic behind why I would let Alaba leave to City. Because the most important thing for him is you've already been at Bayern for years. You've won us everything. And this year we have a huge, big chance at going again in the Champions League and winning it. And I think we will, right? And if he does, which I think there's a big chance, you go to Real Madrid or you go to City, a hero. You leave Bayern on a high note, as a legend essentially, right? Because Alaba's a legend. I mean, he's been here for what, almost a decade. That's crazy to me. Alaba's been here since I wasn't even a Bayern fan. I wasn't even a football fan. I didn't even know how to walk yet. Well, okay, I knew. I was born in 2003, so I would have, when Alaba came here, I think in 2010, was it? Yeah, I was pretty young, so it's crazy how long he's been here for. But Alaba is just a veteran of the club, right? He's been here when Ribery was here. He was here before Robben, and Robben's left. The thing with Alaba is he came in here from the academy at a very young age, right? Obviously not the academy directly, as in he was generated through Bayern solely. He came through some Austrian things, and then he finally came to Bayern. I mean, I'm gonna look him up right now because I don't remember all that much about Alaba's journey. I think he was at an Austrian club, and then he finally came to Bayern, and he actually came to Bayern at such a young age. So I think he knows more about Munich than he does about Vienna in Austria. So Alaba came here. So he was in the under-19s from Vienna. I knew it. I guessed that in my head as well. Vienna, and then he came from Vienna to Bayern's under 19s for 165k, and then he was loaned to Hoffenheim. So he came in 2009. Then he was loaned to Hoffenheim in 2011, so that's great. A season-long loan, came back and just started playing more regularly. And he was in a Champions League final and was great and instrumental in the Champions League win that we got in 2013. And he was in a couple finals before that. In the 2000, no, he wasn't playing in the 2012 final. Alaba came in as predominantly a midfielder. He was supposed to be a midfielder. And you can still see how you think that, because his ball progression is immense. His ability to read the game is crazy. And he has this incredible athleticism, and he's very energetic. So you can see why he would have been a CDM. But he was preferred at left back because we had quite a few players that weren't that great there, and then he just kept playing it ever since, and he's not gone back to CDM. And there's a thing with Alaba, and it's that Alaba thought he wanted to play CDM, and they didn't let him play it. But in June, Alaba turns 27. Hopefully, a few days later, he plays the Champions League, and he's 28 and wins the Champions League, and then he can go for like 100 million, or he can get swapped with Sane. But this would be a fantastic deal. Think about it. Davies is our best left back right now. I think Davies is better than Alaba. In terms of actual technique on the ball, off the ball, I think Davies is better. Defensively, I think Davies is better. Alaba is more experienced, like he'll make literally no mistakes because he understands what to do each moment. But the thing is, Davies is so like smart already. I think Davies will surpass Alaba. I think if Alphonso Davies stays fit for the next 10, 15 years, or 10 years, right? Because he's 19 still, people. Davies could play till he's 33. So let's just say 14 years. If Alphonso Davies stays fit for the next 14 years, right? Until he's 33. And he keeps playing and very rarely gets injured, right? He plays for Bayern Munich. He wins the Champions League this year. And then he keeps playing for us. And we keep improving. He'll be the best left back of all time. Because imagine, Davies will have like, if we play the way we're playing right now and keep improving, we'll have at least 3 Champions League just this decade. And Davies will, first of all, win everything. Think about it, man. Have you thought about that in your head as well? Davies will have been the best. Davies is here in the golden generation of Bayern, where we're renewing. Davies is the first player in the rebuild, right? Davies will be a legend of Bayern. I think Davies will pass Alaba, and he'll be our best left back of all time. I just think so. And he'll be the best left back in football, as much as Marcelo. But Davies is so much saucier than Marcelo. Marcelo just had a great first touch and a great, he could control the game from left back. Davies can control Marcelo could control the left-hand side. Davies can control the entire game. Kind of like Trent Alexander-Arnold, except quicker, better on the ball. I mean, have you seen Davies' his ability? I don't even understand. People tell me Davies is bad at crossing. The next games, his crosses are spot on. Like, he's just, everything about him, there's no errors. He's not terrible in the air. It's not like he's terrible defensively. He's great defensively, and he'll surpass Alaba. We already have Davies. Lucas Hernandez, left-footed center back. I think Lucas, the way I saw Lucas at Atletico Madrid, I thought in my mind, this guy is going to be a world beater. He's fast as hell. He has an incredible tackling foot. And he's incredibly strong and tenacious as a center back. And he wants to step out and, dribble through and then pass it on. And he's good at passing from the back. And he's scoring headers from free kicks and corners. Right? I thought, wow, this guy could be something. Right? I thought he could be. But then injuries, that's the only thing that's holding Lucas Hernandez back. Lucas Hernandez will pick up these knocks over and over and over again. And that's the thing that's really letting him down. The knocks, the injuries. If he can stop getting injured, we have our center back. And he'll be a great center back because he's only, 23 right now? Right? Lucas Hernandez is young as a center back. And he's already experienced at a top club like Atletico Madrid. He pocketed Lionel Messi, one of the only players where he did a job on Messi. Messi, Suarez, he was putting them in his pocket. He was stepping in when Messi would receive the ball. With his pace and athleticism, he could really be a great center back for us. So Alaba, Is he needed a center back? No. Is he needed a left back? No. Is he needed a CDM? No. So this is a perfect time to let Alaba go, and I understand why the club are thinking about it. I'd even let Alaba leave on a free. I'd let him stay here for an extra year, right, till 2021, and then he leaves for free. I would do that because I think he's just been a servant of the club, and I think he's done so well here. He's won 5 DFB Pokals, for God's sake. Come on, think about that. He's won a Super Cup. He's won a Club World Cup. He's won everything he can win. And and as for Alaba, right? We have Niklas Süle who can play defense, obviously. But when we get Upamecano, we could have a backline of Upamecano, Niklas Süle, and if Lucas Hernandez is fit, he can play in the Upamecano role. But we'd be rotating. We would actually have good rotation, right? Or we just assume Lucas would never be fit and play Upamecano and Niklas Süle. Bro, the back line we could have would be insane. We could have that back line. And I think Alaba leaving would open doors for not only Davies to be our starting full-on left back, not like some temporary. Alphonso Davies is our best left back. I kept thinking about it. Why would we switch Davies? You know? What would be the logic? There is none. You can't change Davies. He's our best left back. He's quicker than Alaba. He's better dribbler. He's a better defender. I'm sorry, okay? Alphonso, I know I use this website a lot, Who Scored, but I mean when I search Davies on Who Scored, it's immaculate just how many things he's actually good at. It's crazy. Right? 19 as well. Davies, his very strong straight dribbling, keep passing, defensive contribution, tackling. What more do you need? So not only is he dribbling a lot, really well, he's an outlet for us. Alaba wasn't that. He wasn't an outlet. Alaba was more of a traditional left back. Get down, cross, come back. Overlap, blah, blah, blah. Cross, come back. That Davies is more like, I want to control the game. I'm going to dribble. I'm going to make the key passes. I'm going to be the one to tackle. I'm going to make strong defensive contributions. I'm going to run back half a mile and cover my team. And he's become a man of the match in the Champions League out of 4 games. Come on. I mean, if this guy went up against City, he would burn whoever he's playing. He would burn him, man. If he went against Man United with Aaron Wan-Bissaka, he would burn him. Not for pace, but for technicality. And also pace. The pace helps, but I think his physique is amazing. So thank you everyone so much for watching. It's a nice stream today. I'll go live in a few hours again, and we shall talk more about Bayern. But I'm just watching myself. It's pretty live. Okay, Mia San Mia, and peace.